I had some pretty good experiences in the MTC, but it was pretty basic for me just because I had done so much work on my own beforehand. But it was still a good experience and a different experience, something that not a lot of people ever get to experience, where unless you're like a Catholic priest or someone like that who specifically goes to a different location away from the world, and you're just studying scriptures all the time, and you're really just focused on living that life. And most people don't experience it, so it was a good experience. And I learned from it, and I had a pretty cool dream while I was in there. But anyways, the first place where I started my actual mission was in another place in Utah called Kaysville. And Kaysville, the high school had 97% of Mormons. The high school in Kaysville, Utah had 97% of Mormons. The whole school, teachers, janitors, principals, students, everybody, except for 3% of the people were Mormons. And this was before smartphones. So it was as pure 20th century Mormon Utah as you could get. Like I even remember when I was serving in Kaysville, I remember someone, when I went to go teach at their house, they had an iPad or an iPhone, I can't remember which one it was, and they were doing FaceTime. And that was the first time I ever heard of or saw FaceTime. And that was in 2011, probably March 2011. So this was like a really pure community of people, and it operated like all on the whole thing was all about the church. Like there was a church literally on every corner, and people walked to church. Like your house, your little neighborhood was like, and the neighborhoods are designed so differently than like here in New Jersey. Like here in New Jersey, you could tell like the history is part of the architecture and like the layout of the cities and stuff, because everything's winding and irregular, and it really just imitates like the flow of nature and how the land is laid out. Because they were just colonizing, in the beginning here. But out there, they had to plan every single thing they were doing. And everything out there was basically built by the church. So they had churches on every corner. People walked to church. Like your whole little neighborhood would be in your church congregation. So it was like the most closely knit, single-minded place on the earth. Like, where else is there 97% of a group of people that think the same way and live the same way?